Hey everyone, John Piniella here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Guitar Just Because We Love It. Well, today I thought I'd pick out another guitar from my collection and kind of talk to you about it briefly. So I thought today we would talk about the Duesenberg Double Cat. Now this is a really interesting guitar in my mind, and I was turned on to the guitar by watching Joe Walsh, John Mayer, Rusty Anderson from Paul McCartney's band. You know, these guys were all playing it. And what really struck my eye about this guitar was it had such a Rickenbacker look to it with its own little unique slant, and I really thought it was beautiful. But I was also intrigued because of the fact that, you know, three really notable players were out there using this thing on tour, and it looked like it was one of their guitars, you know, of choice during their set. So anyway, a little bit about Duesenberg. I'm sure many of you know who they are, and some might be more familiar with Duesenberg than others, but a little bit of a brief history. So, you know, Duesenberg Guitars is headquartered in Hanover, Germany. Now, the company was founded in 1986, so they've been around for a while. Certainly not the legacy of Gibson or Fender by any means. In 2004, Duesenberg opened up a facility in Fullerton, California, which then became their USA headquarters. Now, there is some debate, primarily around a bunch of internet rumors, as to exactly where these guitars are made. Now, I was recently on a thread where one of the guys on the thread said, let me put this to bed about the guitars, you know, not being made in Germany, that they're really made in Korea and they're cheap and they're overpriced and whatever. This guy said he actually called Duesenberg USA, and they assured him under no circumstances were these guitars manufactured in Korea, that they were in fact manufactured in Germany. Now, Duesenberg doesn't make any secret about the fact that they do source some of their products, some of their parts rather, like from Godot. But a lot of what you see on their instruments are made by them in their own manufacturing facility. So, you know, they're kind of known for those Art Deco designs. If you can see the headstock here, or if you notice the switch to select pickups, it's got a bit of an Art Deco look to it. Even the pick guard, the way it's been cut, very interesting, you know. That kind of stuff really caught my eye with this beautiful shape. Now, this particular guitar, the Duesenberg Double Cat, only comes in two finishes. The black one, like I have here, and then what they call Fire Glow Red, which is really similar to the Fire Glow Red that you would see on a Rickenbacker. And I wonder, you know, knowing that they were kind of going for a Rickenbacker vibe in terms of the look, did they also go for the Fire Glow as sort of a little bit of a tip the hat and homage to the Rickenbacker line? I don't know, just my theory. Who knows if I'm right? Doesn't really matter. Now, this particular guitar is just killer. I have done a few things to it to kind of make it the way I wanted it to be, but overall this thing's amazing. So the first thing about it is it's got a one-piece maple neck, and it's a bit of a D shape. I find it really comfortable, and the neck is set in. So this is not like a Fender where it's bolted on. This is more like the Gibson deal, where they actually set the necks into the body. The body itself is solid alder, akin to Fender there, right, for some brightness, but it's a chambered body, so it's not really semi-hollow. It's chambered from a solid piece of alder, and the top is a laminated piece of maple. So the guitar is bright. It's got a very loud acoustic quality to it when you strum it, and overall I just think it's really pleasing. The neck itself, or the fretboard, is actually Indian rosewood. It's got 22 frets, and the frets are jumbo. Typically, I like medium jumbo frets, but I didn't have an issue with this at all. I thought it was really comfortable, and it does have a 12-inch radius. Now, for me, that's about as flat as I'd ever want to go. I typically prefer guitars that are anywhere between 10 and 11 inches. This is a 12-inch radius. It's really good for string bending. It's quite comfortable, but in terms of my personal preference, that would be flat enough for me. The scale is a 25.5-inch scale. Not quite Fender, you know, not quite Gibson, but actually it's quite comfortable. String bending is easy. I think it's great. Now, one of the other things about this guitar that's really cool is that the neck is plecked. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what plecking is really sort of a computer-controlled fret leveling tool. And when it's used properly by people that really know how to use that thing, the necks are perfect. From the top of the neck to the bottom, they play beautifully. I mean, plecking is amazing. Gibson plecks a lot of their guitars now. It makes a big difference. This guitar's plecked, which is a really cool feature. Now, pickup-wise was where I had a bit of an issue. So this guitar came standard in the bridge with what they call their Grand Vintage Humbucker, which is Duesenberg's take on a PAF. It was okay. I thought it was a little bit more overwound than what I would typically want to see and hear in a PAF style pickup. And then in the neck, it came with what they call their Domino P90. And I didn't really care for that pickup. I thought it was a bit too dark. So if you were playing in the neck position, it was acceptable, a little dark for my taste. If you were playing in the bridge position, I thought that Grand Vintage Humbucker was a little bit more wound than my liking. But what really didn't sound pleasing to me was the middle position, because you had this darker kind of P90 going with a little bit of, I thought, an overwound PAF style. It wasn't really my favorite. Wasn't horrible. I played it a bunch, played it in the band, but I am a tweaker, and so I thought, you know what, let's swap out some pickups. So the first thing I did was I bought Lawler Imperials, and I had those put in this guitar. And they were okay, but I still felt like, I don't know, something's missing here. You know, I'm looking for this thing. I'm not even sure what the heck I'm looking for, but I'm looking for it. And I'm wondering if I just try another set of pickups, you know, who the heck knows. So the guy that works on my guitars, and you've heard me mention him before on the channel, his name is Billy Penn. And it was Billy that said to me, hey John, did you ever think about putting in the TV Jones pickups? And I was like, that didn't really occur to me. It's an interesting thought. So I figured, what the heck do I have to lose? So I bought a TV Jones Classic Plus for the bridge, which you can see installed here. And I bought a TV Jones Classic for the neck, which you can see is installed here. Well, I hit the jackpot. To my ears, oh man, this guitar is now unbelievable. For some reason, and again, to my ears, these TV Jones pickups just changed the game. I wouldn't swap them out for anything. They sound incredible. And I've gone from playing this guitar, you know, relatively frequently, but not a lot, to playing it all the time. It sounds so good with the TV Jones. Now, the other thing I did, and the only other thing I did, was swap out the pots. I kind of felt like the pots were not sort of up to the standards I'm used to, like the really high-end Emerson or the high-end RS Guitar Works pots. So I had Billy Penn, when he installed the TV Jones pickups, to put the best RS Guitar Works pots into this guitar. And that also made a huge difference, because when you're rolling off that volume now, you're not losing any tone. It's very hi-fi, and the tone control has a really great sweep to it. And I gotta tell you, between the pickups and the new pots, just love this thing. So this is a brief video today, a little bit about the story of my Duesenberg Double Cat. Now I'll tell you really quickly where I found this thing. You know, I came to realize when I started to go on the hunt of looking for this particular instrument, you didn't see a lot of the Duesenberg dealers stocking them, because I think everybody was looking at the TV player or the Star player. Those were the really popular models. They looked like Les Pauls. Some are solid, some are semi-hollow. You know, this one I didn't feel like everybody stocked as much. There's a guitar shop that no longer exists, except I think for an online presence. It was called, I think it was called the Atlanta Guitar Boutique Exchange. And they happened to have this thing hanging in the showroom, which is where I found it and where I bought it. But overall, couldn't be happier. Beautiful guitar, plays amazing. Their hardware, everything that they make on their own, is unbelievable. These tuners are incredible. They're locking tuners, and they are so precise. Everything about it is amazing. The build quality is literally, in my opinion, off the charts. This is a really high quality instrument, not an inexpensive instrument, but it's well worth the money. So there's my story. There's my Duesenberg Double Cat. Love it, love it. Now, if any of you out there own a Duesenberg, or in particular a Double Cat, leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear about it and what you guys think of your Duesenberg. And last, as always, if you can please hit the like button, that will be awesome. If you can hit the subscribe button, that would also be awesome. And hit that bell while you're at it. So when I put up a new video, that's really good English. When I put up a new video, you guys will be notified. And I'm not going to edit that out. Why not? So anyway, there it is. Really appreciate you guys watching. As always, what is it about the guitar that just makes us gravitate to it? Well, it's just because we love it. And heck, man, it's nothing more. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to seeing you again. Be on the lookout for my new video. Have a good day.